Who's the smallest person here? That's wrong. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Okay, what's your name? Faith. Come here, Faith. I'm going to talk to you about resisting the devil and he will flee from you. I'll talk to you about this for a little bit. This is Faith. She's not the devil. She's not the devil. I'm not the devil. So we're talking about resisting the devil and he will flee. Throw a scripture up, Brother Ethan. Read it with me. Hang on. There it is. Therefore, submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Now, this is Faith. How big? Right now, try to resist.
She looks so
good. Don't go this way. Don't go this way. Don't go that. I can still make her go this way. Okay. Okay, listen. All right. That's the thing. All right. Hang on. Stay right here. All right. So Peyton is smaller than me, so I can make her do what I want her to do. I can pick her up if I want to, but I'm not going to because I pick her up. But I can pick her up and I can do whatever, pick her up. Okay, I can do all that. I can shake her and all that stuff, but I'm not going to do that because Peyton is cute and she's awesome to help us. Okay? And so if we resist the devil, he will flee from us, but we have to first do what? Submit to God. What does that mean to submit to God? Surrender our lives to God, submit to God. We have to say, God, you're number one in my life. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the best that I can do for you. I'm going to live my life for you. I'm going to give my life to you, and I'm going to resist the devil. What does resist mean? Not go. Trying to go the other way, right? Push against. Stop what's going on in your life and go the other way. So if you resist the devil is trying to get her to go one way. I'll be the devil right now. I'm trying to get her to go this way, and she's trying to resist and go that way. Good job, sister. Good resistance. Okay? And so she's going that way. She's resisting me, right? But if she just goes with me, just come with me this time. Don't be too strong. Okay, okay. She goes with me. Number one, she hasn't submitted to God. She's submitted to me. Right. She's not resisting. She's walking with me. Come on, walk. Let her walk. Let her walk. Keep walking. She's just going to walk with me because she doesn't like it, but she is. And so how many times have you in your life that maybe had some friends that you were going a direction you knew wasn't right, but you didn't resist because you were afraid they wouldn't be your friend anymore. You were afraid they wouldn't like you. Maybe as a girl, and maybe you were afraid that she wouldn't like you, wouldn't be your girlfriend anymore. Maybe as a guy, you're afraid they wouldn't be your boyfriend anymore. And so you just submitted to them. Thank you, baby. You can come back just a second. Okay? Give her a hand. And so you submitted to somebody and gave them authority over your life. So when you submit to somebody, you give them authority. Okay, I'll give you this. How about MMA? When you tap out, you do what? Submit. To whose authority? The person kicking your tail, right? Okay, and so the person that's got you in a chokehold and you're about to go out and you tap out, you have submitted to their authority over you. You with me? You resisted them the entire match, but at that time, now they have got a stronghold in your life and they have made you submit to their will. Their will was to win the match, and so now you've tapped out and you've submitted to their will. And so now, if you resisted for a while, you resisted for a little bit, but all of a sudden, now, you had to submit. Submit. Girl. They had to submit. Now listen, when you submit to God, what you're doing is saying, God, what you're saying is, God, I'm giving over my will to your will. I'm tapping out on my life. I'm tapping out on what I want to do. I'm tapping out on what my desires are, and I'm going to let you win over my will. And so we talk about God for just a minute. Does God want good things or bad things for you?
Good.
How do you know?
Trust God. He loves me. Amen.
How do you know He loves you?
The Bible.
The Bible. That's a good answer. Good job, brother. Well, how do you know? How do you know that God loves you? Maybe I told you that, but maybe you don't really know that. Maybe some other preacher told you that, but you don't really know that. See, I can get up here and tell you that God is my Father, but to some of you, you've never met your Father and you don't even like your Father. And so when I say God is your Father, you go, I hope not. But when I say that God is my Father, I have my perception of my Father was my dad was always home until he passed away. My dad was my dad all my life. My dad was my dad from the time of my birth until the time of his death. My dad was in my life. And so for that connotation for me is a wonderful thing. But for so many young people today, what happens is this. They say, my dad, and you're like, I don't know who my dad is. And I haven't seen my dad. And so sometimes that gets to be a negative thing. And so I don't want you to think of God as being negative. I want you to think of God as being positive. What a father is a father is somebody who loves you, cares for you, protects you, somebody you can lean on, somebody that gives you strength, teaches you how to do some things, teaches you how to do to grow up and to be a man or a woman. That is a father.
Amen.
And so God is your father, and what he does is he teaches you how to become a follower of him, or a Christian, if you will. Somebody that you can lean on, somebody you can trust to not break your heart, somebody that you can have a relationship with, that he's never going to cut you loose. And maybe some of you are sitting here today, and maybe your father passed away at a young age. And that stinks. And I'm sorry that happened to you. But here's the deal. God is a father, and he will always love you and always care for you. Not because I read it in a book, not because somebody told me. Because from my experience, I can tell you that God is a father who loves me more than my natural dad loved me. And my natural dad loved me a lot. And so my natural dad was 83 years old when he died. And so he passed away. But hear me. Therefore, if I submit to God, the person who loves me more than anything in this world, God loves me so much that he sent his only son to die for me. God loves me so much more than he loves anything else on this planet. He didn't speak me into existence. He made me and formed me out of the dirt. He didn't just talk about making me. He absolutely breathed his breath into my lungs, and he loved me so much that he absolutely just formed me, made me, molded me, and caused me to be a living being. But I don't believe that. I don't care what you believe. I know it to be true. You need to know him. So if I submit to God, if I submit to God's will, what is God's will? What is God's will? Beloved, I wish above all things that best prosper, be healthy, that your soul prospers. What does that mean? That he wants to be prosperous. What does that mean? You think God wants the best for you? Yes, he does. He wants you to be the best that you can be for you. He wants you to succeed. Sometimes I know some things fall around you and you think, well, God doesn't care about me. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Why is it that you have such a struggle and some people don't have a struggle? I don't know. Choices. The Bible is not a book of destiny. It's a book of decisions to a destination. What does that mean? You don't have your own destiny. God doesn't say, okay, I'm going to do this. No, you have to make a decision for your destination. You're not predestined to be poor. You're not predestined to be rich. Do decisions happen? Yes. Somebody made a decision in the rich families that they made a business decision, and they made a business decision. And some of the poor families, like I grew up poor. We didn't have anything. I grew up in a shotgun house. I grew up 2 blocks up this street right here. This is my neighborhood. This is where I grew up. So I didn't grow up with a rich mom and dad. My mom and dad made some bad choices sometimes. They didn't make the right choices to retire. So now the retirement is me. I'm the retirement plan. Because they didn't make the right choices in their financial situations. So is that God's fault? No. It's my mom and dad's fault. Not out of wanting to be that, but out of not knowing what to do. So you're not destined to be anything. But you can make choices to make your destination. You have to make choices. You can either choose. Now this is PG-13. Everybody over the age of 13? 12? What are you doing in here? No, I'm just teasing. So, okay, you can choose what you're going to do with your boyfriend and girlfriend. That's not a destination, that's a choice. You can choose to be a drug addict or not. You can choose to be a drunk or not. You can choose to be a Christian or not. It's choices. Have my scripture back up, Ethan, please. So if I submit to God, the one who loves me and cares more about me than anything else on this planet, He cares about us individually and as a group more than anything else on this planet. If I'll submit to God who loves me and cares about me and say, here's the deal. We have this little orange fence that's around the property. You guys see it today?
Yeah.
Okay. What is that for?
Protection. To let us not let the that on the street. There we go.
All three of you are right.
I practice it.
All three of you are right. It's for your protection. Why? It keeps things out and it keeps you from going out. It keeps things from coming in, it keeps you from going out. So God has things He says. And so many of you guys say, I don't want to be a Christian because if I'm a Christian, then I can't have any fun. Wrong. I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been on the road side of the orange fence. I've been in the yard side of the orange fence. I've been on both sides in my life. Here's the deal. Either way, I've been on that side, and that side caused me a lot of trouble, a lot of sorrow, a lot of pain. Inside the yard, I was protected. Inside the yard, God puts an orange fence around you, not so you can't have any fun, not so you can't do what you want to do. It keeps you protected from the things that are trying to get to you. So when I submit myself to God, I'm submitting myself to what God is trying to do in my life, which is trying to protect me from myself. Because myself wants to do a bunch of stuff that is bad for myself. My heart, the heart of a man is not pure. The heart of a woman is not pure. But when God gives you a clean heart, and God changes your heart, what He does is this. He gives you a reason to submit to Him. Resist the devil. Tell him your name one more time because no one remembers. I know. Peyton, nobody remembers, so I did. No, you don't. Okay, listen. This is Peyton. Two people that did, they'll remember after this, okay? Check this out. Everybody that came up for worship, I want you to get against that wall. Everybody that came up and stood up for worship, get against that wall. You're coming in. Okay, Miss Payton. You don't want to go? You don't have to. Your foot's up. Okay, Miss Payton, now turn around. Turn around, look at me. Listen. When I submit myself to God, look at me. Look at my nose. If you can see it. Look at my nose. I was getting they can see it. That's why I was like, I can't see it. Okay. So, look at my nose. When I submit myself to God, this is what I've done. All you that were up here worshiping, okay, now are against me, the devil. So I've submitted myself to God. And now I can't make her do what I want her to do because, turn around. See those people? That's what, turn back. That's what the devil sees when you've submitted your life to God and you resist the devil. He sees a group called Jesus. I'm echoing. And there's a group called Jesus. And what he does is it intimidates the devil so much that he not only doesn't try to make you, he doesn't try to grab you anymore because these people are going to attack me. What it does is it makes him look at you and look at everything behind you and makes him flee from you. You got it? You got it? When I submit myself to God, I have this as my protection. But if I don't, stay there. If I don't submit, now turn around this way, look at me. That's what you have. You either have this. I love the Goonies shirt. That's awesome. Okay. You either have that. Cool. All right. You either have this behind you. He's jacking a bit. You either have this behind you, or turn around. You have that. Which would you rather have? I would rather have that. Even though I'm just a fat old guy, I would rather have that. You guys with me? You see what I'm saying? Okay. So when I submit myself to God, I find that God cares for me so much, that He loves me so much, that He has put this protection behind me. So when I resist the devil, I'm not resisting on my own. If I resist on my own, I tend to fall. When I resist on my own, I will fall, because I don't have any backup. But when I resist, after I've submitted to God, I've got you guys to help me. See, listen to me. This is what I want to happen in this church. I want you guys to become a youth group. What do you mean by youth group? This is what I want you to do. I want, if Erin is getting in trouble because she's talking, no, I'm just teasing. I'm just messing with her. Okay. If Peyton is in trouble, I want somebody to come to her rescue. If you see her at school and she's having a hard time at school and somebody's messing with her at school, I want you to come to her rescue and say, hey, babe, what's up?
No, I would just punch them in the face.
No, we're not doing that. All right, listen. And so, somebody taught her right. Okay. I want you to be able to go to somebody and trust them, that they're not going to go to somebody else and say, did you hear about Peyton? What happened to her? And then she's going to punch you. So she's going to have two people punch and she's going to be out of school for the semester. Okay, here, listen. But I want this to happen for all of you. I want you to submit to God. Not because the old white guy told you, but because the Bible says to give your heart to the Lord and God will take care of you. Does that mean every problem you ever had will go away? No. No. I hate to tell you this, but when you get saved, all your problems don't go away. Problems of your soul go away because now you're in covenant with God and now you have this behind you instead of trying to do it by yourself. You can't do it by ourselves, guys. I don't care how bad you think you are. I don't care how tough and how mean you think you are. I don't care how much you think you know. There's been better people than us that have tried to do it by themselves and fallen and not able to do it. Thank you, guys. Give them a hand. Thank you, guys. I was a youth pastor for a long time. I'm not anymore, but I used to be. I love speaking to teenagers. I love it. It's just so comfortable to me. I just love it. Hear me. Every one of you that stood up there as my example, you have an opportunity to make a decision that can change your children's life. See, right now, some of you can't even think about past going to school tomorrow because you're hating that. Okay, but listen. At some point, you will be a mom or a dad, and you have an opportunity to change the destiny of your life by making one decision. Am I going to submit to God, or am I going to submit to the devil? There's only two choices. You don't get to say, well, I don't want to make a choice, because that makes you make a choice.
Amen.
There's only two choices. Yes or no. Saved or unsaved. Child of God or lost. There's two choices. I'm proud to be a Christian. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care who likes it or who doesn't like it. The devil doesn't move me. So we've given the devil so much power through movies. Everybody's afraid of the devil. The devil's a punk, man.
Amen.
That's all he is. The devil has no power or authority over a child of God. I don't care how many Catholic priests you've seen get thrown around by a devil in a movie. That doesn't happen in real life. Real life is this: a child of the King. He has no power or authority over me. He can't touch me. He can't do anything to me. I can make a stupid decision, Sister Heike, and allow the devil into my life. But God Himself fights for me. There's a song called "He Fights for Me." It talks about David had 5 smooth stones, and he swung his sling and hit Goliath in the head, because my God fights for me. It tells another story about the lady who came and was washing Jesus' feet with her tears and dried his feet with her hair. And all the eyes of everybody were on her. But she said, "I don't care, because my God fights for me." So I want you to understand something. You're not by yourself. Even when you feel like you're by yourself, you're not, because your God fights for you. But you have to be willing to submit yourself to that and say, "God, I'm going to give my life to you. I'm going to submit my life to you. I want to have what Brother Jeff's talking about." Pastor Jeff is always talking about Jesus and all this stuff. I just want to know, are you really who Pastor Jeff says you are? Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's just see if God will truly be who God says He is. Let's just really see if God is the King of all creation. Let's just really see if God is God. Let's just see if God will help you through some situations in your life. What if He does? Wouldn't that be cool? I'll wrap it up with this. I'm done after this. You're sitting in a church today with a bunch of people who care about you and have done everything they can to accommodate you today. See those people behind you? Turn around and look at those people behind you. You see every one of those people behind you? You know what they did? You know what they normally do on Wednesday night? They have a church service that they are in charge of, and they do all that stuff. But you know what they said tonight? Let them come out here, let's do this, because we needed a place for you. We want you to feel like you're part of this thing. You hear me?
Amen.
Thank you. They did it for you because they want you to know that they love you. Those people that sitting back there love you a lot. They pray for you. They pray for your families. They want you to know that God is God. Stand your feet.